Hello, true crime community. I'm going to chat a little bit about the Cabo 6, but now it's the Cabo 5 because one of the frenemies is now in custody and waiting extradition to Mexico. And her name is Dejanay Jackson, and she is in custody, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm sure that it's not going to take long for her to sing like a canary. And the other 5 will also have charges brought against them as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. Not only are they in trouble, but how they had the police report, and the police report said that the doctor arrived at this time and the police and the ambulance. Well, Daniel De La Rosa, who is awesome, he is the attorney general down in Mexico, and he's the one who has been working on this case. He also has the municipal authority in Baja Cabo Sur area, and 2 police officers and the doctor are all being investigated as well, and they'll probably be brought up on charges also, because police report, scientifically, it's impossible for what the doctor said, because, the autopsy said that the injuries occurred at 2:45 and she died 15 minutes later, which would be 3 p.m. Mexico time. So scientifically, it's impossible. So that they're saying, Daniel De La Rosa is saying that police report is, you might as well just throw it in the trash because it's not even worth the paper. So anyhow, that's great news. Okay, so let me see what else here. Okay, so 5 of the people checked in on 10/28, and Khalil filled out the form for everyone at the desk, and put phone numbers. So there's a couple that are missing because he filled in all of their names. 2 important things: Nazir and Winter were not present. Neither one of their phone numbers were on there. So I don't know where Nazir and Winter were when Khalil filled out the paperwork for the resort villa thing. Let's see. Nazir said there's proof to everyone he was not there when the beating happened. At check-in, Winter and Nazir were not there. Evidence and building a case, this may lead us to something. We don't know what. It may be just something tiny that they weren't there at check-in, but, it's another flag. We don't know if it's exactly red. We'll find out, though. I believe in this Daniel De La Rosa. I really do. He's really, been working on this case for 2 weeks, and, look at where we are now. It's just amazing. I'm so happy. And that's just mainly because they don't want this to ever happen in Mexico again, because they rely on especially America, going down there and, having vacations, and they don't want to lose that money. And so they're going to make an example of these people, of these 6 people. They're going to make an example of them because they want to send people back here a message that says you're not going to come down to Mexico and pull this kind of shit, you know. It's not going to happen, because Mexico is a very poor country and they depend on us, you know, for revenue from, you know, going to the resorts and vacationing down there. And they don't want to lose people like the Kardashians, because Kim goes down there a lot, and other actors and actresses, and, you know, all of us people. Okay, so let me see, where are we at? Oh, the other thing is when the guy was filming and Dejanay was doing the beat down on Shanquella. The guy was filming, but then somebody else was holding a camera, and that they were FaceTiming, and you couldn't tell if they were FaceTiming the fight, which I would imagine that they were. They were FaceTiming someone, and it is also said, I listened to an attorney, and I can't remember his name, I apologize, and he said that the person who was watching that FaceTime can also be in trouble and may have charges brought up against them as well. So that's interesting. I think everyone's really gonna you know, put these folks away, because they want to send a clear message. Dejanay's birthday was 10/30. There was a birthday, Nazir said it was his as well. The same day they all flew back to the United States, less than 24 hours after she lost her life, and they're going to get in trouble for that as well. So that's good news. Malik, he was filming, and he also put this on Dejanay's, I think it was Instagram or one of those. I love you, best friend for life. I got your back. And he put a big heart in there. Someone was beat to death. Police there, an ambulance there, and you post this? You know, what is so special about this Dejanay that everybody's keeping their mouth shut? Do they understand that they are going to be brought up on some serious charges, and you know she's going to sing like a canary? Why didn't one of you go and turn yourself in? What does she have on you guys? I don't get it. It's and you know, the other thing that drives me nuts is they're not sad. They don't have any remorse. It sounded like Malik was pledging his love and dedication and loyalty. He said, girl, don't worry about it. It was an accident. I got you. I got your back. Man, I don't get it. It's a cover-up. That's what it is, a major cover-up. Dejanay must have something on these guys. And I think this was all planned. Elise Hyatt's sister, she passed away the night before Elisa left. And, you know, people are like, that's really weird. She was at a hotel and supposedly her boyfriend, you know, killed her. And everyone's like, you know, how could Elisa go to Mexico knowing her sister just passed away? Wouldn't you want to be there with your family and, you know, support them and help them with all the arrangements that need to be done for your sister? But I guess you're a very selfish person. And you know, the other thing that really drives me nuts, and you know, I'm not sorry about this, not only are these 6 young folks horrible. But you know what? I don't have much respect for their parents either. To raise people like this, and, you know, man, these 6 are really cold-hearted. They're animals to allow this to happen to Shanquella. Oh, and the other thing is, you know, they were questioning when all this took place, when it all went down. And if you look in the hotel room, the windows were open and there was sun coming in the windows. And it sounds like Dejanay went in there. If you look at the video, she went in there and said, girl, get up out of bed. We're going to fight or whatever. So was it morning when this all started, in the morning? Oh God, I hope not, because she suffered a long time if that's the case. And it's also said that someone else got in a fight that day, one of the other 2 girls. Some people say it was Alyssa, and some people say it was Winter, that, you know, tried to stop this fight, or this beat down, I should say. It's not a fight. I'm not going to call it a fight. It was a beat down. And they stepped in and said, hey, enough, don't do anymore. And they kind of got into it too. But the beating still went on. So, yeah. They have, you know, the authorities have those videos. So, you know, that's how they made the arrest for Dejanay, because they had the videos and it's all right there and it's quite obvious. So, yes, the other thing is the autopsy said that she was, you know, dead at 3 p.m. And Nazir said he got there around after 3 p.m. So that's another thing that doesn't make sense, you know? And everyone's questioning that. Wouldn't you walk in and say, hey man, what happened to her? She has a knot on her head. Her eye was bloodshot red from busted vessels. Her lip is split, bruising all over her back, severe bruising at that. I would have flipped out if I was him and I walked in and I saw her like that. I would have been like, man, what's going down? So the night before she passed, the chef was cooking dinner and Khalil was walking up to this was after the chef cooked dinner. Khalil walked up to a hammock, and Shanquella was like asleep in the hammock, and he's like, we got another one. We got a body. She threw the same, wait. Oh, he says she's through. And so he posted that night. Shanquella, she sounded, if you listen to her at dinner time, they must have been playing a card game as well. The chef's there, you know, cooking their dinner, and someone's yelling, drink up. And Shanquella sounded like she was having such a fun time. She didn't sound even intoxicated then. She was just having a good time. And something went down. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to chat about was they're calling this a femicide. And a femicide is a brutal, you know, brutal actions that lead to, you know, death. And so they just bumped that time up to 25. The least that she can get if she gets busted for femicide is 25 years, and the most she can get is 55 years. And that's in a Mexican prison. And if you look at that prison, it looks rough. It's got cartel members in there. It's got murderers in there. She doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. And they all think she's a transvestite. I don't know how that occurred. But, you know, she acted all big and bad. And when she gets in that prison, it is not going to be pretty for her. And, you know, it's like if she wasn't such an ugly person, I may feel bad for her. But because of what she did, and Shanquella said, she's like, Malik said, girl, come on, Shanquella, aren't you going to fight back? And she said, no, in this little tiny voice. Her dad said that he didn't raise her to be a fighter. Her dad was on an interview saying Shanquella was his only child. And he was so sad because he's like, I'm never going to be able to walk her down the aisle. I'm never going to be able to have a grandchild. This is a disgrace. And, if it was different, I probably wouldn't have these feelings. But, Dejanay and that group, it just makes me so mad. I think they ruined all of their lives. They all went to college. They did the right thing. Why did you have to be greedy and jealous? That's oh gosh, you all could have been successful. It takes work to become successful. You don't get jealous of Shanquella because she was successful, gorgeous, and she had her stuff together. She was even going to put her best friend Nazir on the payroll. That's pathetic. And he's right up there with Dejanay. I'm sorry. You went to the mom and dad's house and had dinner with them. You went on vacations with them. You should be put away as long as Dejanay's put away. I have no respect for you. You're a disgrace. Ugh. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the May the 4th, 1978, we have an extradition treaty in both countries, Mexico and the United States. We have permission to go back and forth with criminals. Of course, we have to be polite and, say, yeah, okay, you can extradite this person, and they have to do the same. There is no parole in Mexico. None. No parole. And there's no deals. I mean, maybe Dejanay, if she rolls on these other 5 people, maybe they'll give her a break and give her the least amount of time, which is 25 years for a femicide, which, she won't make it 25 years down there, which is sad to say, but I don't feel bad for saying it. I'm sorry. This was one of the worst crimes I've ever seen. And it's because of what you all did. The girl paid for the resort. You stole money from her. You were supposed to be her friends. I mean, there were times when we were out in the public and my ex-husband and I were out in the public, and a guy was doing something to a woman and we jumped in. We didn't even know the person, and you guys were supposed to be friends. Ugh, it's a disgrace. So there's no parole in Mexico. It does not happen. And the other thing is there's no jury. No jury at all. And, okay, so there's 2 lawyers, a defense lawyer and a prosecuting lawyer. They don't get up and talk about their case. It's all in writing. Everything is in writing, and it's submitted to the judge. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you before I go any further is, you know, they did the autopsy in Mexico, but when the body got back here to the United States, the family asked for a forensic autopsy as well, and we're still waiting on the results of that. Let's see. What do I want to say? So, the evidence from the evidence and the reports that both of the lawyers make, they're handed to the judge, and the judge will take a look at it, and he'll say, okay, I'm gonna take this case, or he's gonna dismiss it. Social media brought that evidence tape to Mexico law enforcement. They do not know which one actually brought it. And then the perpetrators, they have to be on Mexican soil for all of this to happen. You know, so like as soon as the United States takes her across the border, they'll be waiting there right across the border, and they will take her directly to prison until this case is brought before the judge. All of the evidence and the case is submitted to the judge. The judge has 3 days. He can dismiss it, okay, or he can take a look at the evidence, and like I said, she'll go and wait her trial in the prison there, and the judge will say, oh yeah, there's more than enough evidence for her to stand trial. And the judge will say, get them and let's do this. Right? He'll take the case and they'll start the proceedings. But like I said, nobody will be talking. It's all done by paper. They'll be able to submit additional evidence or additional case information on paper to the judge. There's no oral arguments. Arguments are on paper. They just get one time at it, and at the end, they get one time at it at the end of the trial. Both lawyers will have one time to give an oral argument at the end of the trial. It's probably like when we wrap it up at the end. Trial occurs behind closed doors, and decision is made solely by the presiding judge, and it may be appealed ×2. Witnesses seldom appear to testify in person. They testify on paper. The judge makes a decision after he studies the evidence that is submitted, and once the judge explains his decision, she or they will be sentenced right then and there. Okay, so then the defense attorney can say no objection to what the judge says, or he can object and he can appeal it. If the judge didn't violate any procedures, then they're not going to win those appeals. And I just wanted to say that is really good news. And I'm glad that they're moving this case forward. And I'll be happier when they are all in prison. And I will pray for their families to become better people, because they will still be out in the community. And I'm going to pray that the 6 all get prison time. So thank you to all my true crime buddies out there. Thank you for joining my channel, and thank you for all your comments. And last night I started opening, I borrowed my daughter's phone and I started answering some of those comments, and I got my phone yesterday. Yay! I'm gonna probably take it to the store today, and then I will continue to answer all my comments from all of you. God bless you and have a great day.